For a long time, these tech companies felt like almost the safest place to work. Employees were well looked after, well compensated, great perks, and suddenly that's been turned on its head. And I think it's been a bit of a wake-up call for a lot of employees at these companies. Maybe they're not the big kind of happy family that they thought they were. My name is Hugh Langley. I'm a correspondent at Business Insider, where I cover Google and tech. I think the layoffs are happening for a multiple number of reasons at the moment. The reason these tech CEOs are citing mostly is the potential of a looming recession. The other one is that through the pandemic, these tech companies really went through this sort of hyper growth mode where they just hired and hired and hired. Consumers were at home, spending more money on digital services and goods. So they got incredibly competitive with the workforce. We were all writing about, the battle for talent. There was a little bit of naivety there, and maybe some of them knew it was going to come to an end, but it was the case that they couldn't miss that opportunity. Like, we need to do the same, because in 2-3 years' time, we don't want to be the company that doesn't have that talent. And now those good times have kind of come to an end. The other reason is investors are just putting so much pressure onto these companies right now to trim these headcounts. So now they're having to react by cutting some of this headcount that they've added in the last couple of years to try and appease investors. We've seen the layoffs hit so many tech companies. All the big ones, Google, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, have slashed tens of thousands of jobs. Salesforce, we've also seen it down to kind of medium and smaller tech companies as well. Spotify, Zoom, Uber, GoPuff. Amazon's cut around 27,000. Meta's about 21,000 so far. Google and Microsoft have also cut around a little over 10,000. The cuts we're seeing are happening across a lot of the company right now. Areas you'd expect are kind of getting hit hardest: human resources, recruiting, for example. It's hard to say exactly what these cuts are going to mean for the broader economy right now. I think we'll see a lot of the workforce maybe move out of tech into other areas which are not seeing such a pullback right now. Many of these tech companies rely on infrastructure such as support workers, contractors, people who really prop up the company, whether it's customer support or delivery drivers for Uber Eats. These sorts of people who are really supporting the business definitely are not paid as much as the companies that work there full time, but we're definitely seeing them also get hit as part of these layoffs, and I think we'll continue to do so. But in terms of the long term, I think what we'll see it the most for consumers is in terms of products and services that the companies are going to pull back on, projects that they were hoping to build and release that now they're choosing not to because they're too expensive, and they're trying to really kind of focus on their core strengths. We've seen big tech layoffs happen in the past, and that hasn't necessarily led to a recession. So it's hard to say that's the case, but there's definitely a sense that the companies are trying to get out ahead of it happening. They see a cooling economy, hiking interest rates, and it's concerning. But they don't want to get caught when it's too late. So they're acting now to kind of get ahead of something that may or may not be coming.